double check the. Alright, so just, you have something to pass me?
This?
Yes, thank you. Just this, right? Okay. Okay, let's go through your this homework first. By the way, I expect you to be very good with the algebra and linear equation. Graph.
Okay.
Do you think so? Okay, good. Okay, so can you see clearly?
Yes.
Big enough?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, for this question over here, so you use the make the denominator the same, then after that you just delete the denominator for both sides, right? Here and here, right? And then after that you just have to move the terms, similar terms together, right? Then once you move the similar terms together, then you get to figure out the answer, right? So correct. Then 44, open the brackets. So open the bracket one by one. Then move the similar terms together. Then yes, the answer looks good. Okay. 14 divided by minus 14 minus 2. So 14 divided by 2, 7. Yeah. Then this one, okay. So the structure of this one is slightly different from the structure of this. 44. So all I need you to do is okay, so you don't have to mark yourself first, okay, because if there is any mistake I will just point out to you and then you just correct later on, okay, so don't have to mark over there at first. So this question is slightly different from the previous two. Why?
Because it's both in.
Huh?
It's both in fraction. And there's plus.
There is a plus in the middle, right? In the middle, right? Okay, so over here is plus. So it is plus here. So do you need to do anything?
No.
No need. But what if it's a minus here in the middle?
Bracket.
Yes, then you need to put a bracket for the one right after the minus sign. Okay, so always remember this. Okay, for algebra, for algebraic questions like this is the only trick you need to remember. Okay, if it's a minus here, then you just have to put a bracket behind. Okay, so over here no need bracket, and you make it 3. Okay, good. So very good. Then similar terms, so move over, change sign. Okay, so over here 9x plus x. Okay, good. Okay, so over here left right fractions, then cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, actually there is one more step you skip, which you are not supposed to skip. What's that step? So can you see your left arrow and can you see your right arrow? So you are so the equal sign is in between. So you are supposed to write this step also. You are supposed to include this step. Okay? After you include this step, then you open the bracket. And then you will get this. So remember, never skip any step. Okay?
Okay.
So then you continue, move the similar terms together, so you get minus move over plus, yeah, so good. Then this 4 over, okay, good. Then so what did I say? If you get some not so like the answer is not a whole number,
Check.
yeah, check, right? Always check your previous steps. I mean since the beginning. See if you make any mistakes, right? Yeah, like I said, you just need to pay attention over here, okay? So over there, later you need to do correction if there is any mistake, okay? So for this, okay, over here they give you the bracket already. Can you see? Over here they give you a bracket right behind the minus sign. If they give you the bracket right after the minus sign, you don't go and add another one, okay?
Okay.
So do you know when you need to add another one, when you don't need to add another one?
When they already give them.
Yeah, so when they give you a bracket, you don't go and add another bracket. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So over here, open the brackets. Okay, then move the terms, similar terms. So the k and k need to remain on one side. Then that means the questions start off with 17 and 5 over 7, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, weird question. Okay, good. Okay. This one similarly. So the question already gives you the bracket. Okay, so you don't go and add another bracket.
Okay.
Clear? I see a minus sign here, right? The question already gives you a bracket. You don't go and add another bracket.
Okay.
Okay. Then open the bracket. Then after that, move the similar terms together. Then, yeah, good. Okay. So, okay, before I look at the question itself, what's wrong with this?
They asked us to find equation of a line.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
cannot
Then you should basically you should get it into y equals to mx plus c, right? And your job is to find
Yeah, but when
m and c, right? And then what is the
I
problem?
went to find n.
Yeah.
The n is a very weird number, and then I
Weird
double
number.
check every single time it comes
Okay,
out. It's
good.
the same weird number.
But what is wrong with this formula? Is there anything wrong with this formula?
Shouldn't be
Thursday.
wrong.
Thursday. You think of Thursday. Do you have any materials from Thursday? What did I say about this formula?
y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2 equals to m.
So, what's the difference between this formula and this formula?
At the bottom. 1 is at the bottom.
Why the 1 and the 2 must
Because
be at the
it looks
bottom?
like it will be squared.
Then when are you going to change this? When? When are you going to change this formula then? Tell me, when? If Thursday, I inform you, I ask you not to write the 1 and the 2 at the top. Like you say, it looks like a square, right? Then when are you going to change? Today is Saturday. When are you going to change?
Tomorrow.
Not today. Not from
Today.
today onwards. When?
Today.
Today onwards. Okay? No nonsense, okay? I'm not talking about whether you can solve questions now. I'm talking about basic stuff. You write it wrongly, wrong. It's just like we keep talking about if it's a minus here, you have to add a bracket at the back. Right after the the minus sign, right? So all you need to do is you just have to remember and then just apply it. Done. You make a mistake, fine. But you don't make this kind of silly mistakes. Okay? Then now we look at the question. Page 86. Question 42. But actually from here, you were saying you cannot get the y1, y2, x1, x2?
They made us draw another line and try to find the equation of this line.
Okay. Page 86. So for the questions that you have completed, right? You just unfold the paper. Yeah, just unfold the pages so that you know that you have finished the homework
Okay.
in a way. Okay, good. 42. So use a scale of this. Okay, let me look at your graph. There's a shadow over there. Okay, thanks. I need to rotate this. Let's get this over. Next time, the entire question of graph, right, should be completed on a piece of graph paper. So all this A, B, C, D, right, you either put it at the side or you behind.
Okay.
Behind means
At the back.
yeah, at the back. Okay. So what I need to see is I'm supposed to see 3 points. Okay. So I'm supposed to see -3 and 10. So this point. Then I'm supposed to see 0, 4. I'm supposed to see 5 minus 6. Okay, good. And then you link it up, and then that will give you the line, right? Then after that, then is this the y equals to -2x plus 4 equation given from the the question. Yes. Okay. So label, yes, very good. So label, and then of course label this as well. From the graph, find the value of y when x equals to -1.2. Yes. So once again, minus x equals to 1.2. So x equal to -1.2. So x equals to -1.2 is here, right? So your job is to ask yourself. There are 4 directions you can go, right? So very good. Okay, the question asks for x equals to -1.2. What is y, right? Okay. So if you write this down, right, it's very simple that you know which direction to go. Let me demonstrate to you. You already marked this, right? You go to the left, it goes nowhere, right? You go down, it also goes nowhere, right? You go to the right hand side, yes, you will hit a point. But what is this point? This is your
2.
2. What 2?
X-axis equals to 2.
Which is x-axis equal to
X equals to 2.
yes. Okay, you must be specific and precise. X-axis never is equal to 2. It's x equal to 2. Okay, so this point is your x equal to 2, and then the only direction left for you to go is this direction, which is you go up, and then you hit this. Is 6.2 or 6.4?
6.4.
Okay, good. So it's 6.4. What 6.4?
Y equals to 6.
Okay, write down y equals to 6.4. Okay, so the direction to the right, the direction up, both give you an answer. This gives you y equals to 6.4, and this gives you x equals to 2. And then, of course, then you read the question. The question asks for y equals to something, right? Then it makes sense for you to disregard this, because this will give you x equal to 2. which is not what the question wants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the only answer. Y equals to 6.4. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, does it make sense? Like, I mean, if you are asked to find y given x from the graph, then how do you do it manually? Because this is from the graph, so x equals to negative 1.2. What is y? You found it from the graph, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
This is just one of the methods. Then how do you do it by calculation? Can you show me how you do it by calculation? X equal to minus 1.2. What is y? How do you do it by calculation? Can you remember? Show me every single step, okay? The first step is not use calculator. Okay? You can do it here actually. You can do it here. Just on a piece of graph paper. X equal to minus 1.2, y equals to question mark. Can you see from that distance?
Yes.
Okay, good. Don't do it your way, okay? Don't do it anyhow, okay? If you forget how to do, you can always refer to our Thursday materials for reference. But of course, you can only refer once because during the exams or test, you're not supposed to refer to anything. So this method should be etched in your brain so that you won't forget. No.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the answer?
6.4.
Huh?
6.4.
Good. So calculation you get 6.4, graph you get 6.4. So very likely your answer is correct. That's how you double check, okay, your answer. Okay? So
Okay.
can I see your working? Make sure that you follow the way I teach you. Okay, so the step one is sub in, right? Then after that, yeah, good. Okay, this one. It says on the same axis, draw a straight line that passes through the point 1, comma 2. So 1, comma 2 is here. Okay. Let me use a different color. And then minus 1 and minus 4. And then you just link up, right? So you are asked to find this y equals to mx plus c. How do you find m? How do you find m?
Y1 minus Y2.
Very good.
divided by M1.
How do you write y1, y2
At
and
the bottom.
at the bottom? Okay, good. So do you think you can complete this? Do you think you have the y1, y2? Do you have the x1, x2? Instead of looking at your graph, right? Your graph has no coordinate at all. Can you tell your graph has no coordinate at all? So it's hard to read. Okay, it's hard to read if there's no coordinate. So it's better for you to write it down so that you just read off the graph, okay, without any trouble. Okay, before I look at your answer, can I ask, this line here, right, is a slope up or slide down? Slope up. So what do you think for the gradient? Slope up. Gradient, positive, negative? Positive. Do you get a positive gradient?
Yes.
What's the gradient?
3.
3. Okay. So I will say very likely your 3 is correct. Okay? Very likely your 3 is correct. So how come here you question mark, 3 question mark?
Because I did this twice and the answer was 1.2 times. 1.2.
Why is it 1.2 something? Yeah.
I don't know.
No. Did you do it by substituting the x1 y1 and then the x2 y2 into the formula?
Yeah, I did. And
Okay, hold on.
1 y minus 1 2 y1 minus y2 xy.
If you okay, if you did it without writing down the coordinate, I think you are bound to make mistake.
I was looking at the workbook when I was doing it. I was using the coordinates over there.
Yeah. So it does not make sense if you get 1 point da 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 da. Why? Because clearly, if you read clearly, like for me, I will just take 2 minus 4 and then 1 minus 1. Or I will take minus 4 minus 2 or minus 1 minus 1. And just now there is this very, I will say very bad habit of you. If you are reading coordinates without writing them down, then I can't manage it. Just imagine. I don't write down the coordinate. Okay. This is my coordinate 1. This is my coordinate 2. So I want to find the gradient of this line by formula. The formula is y1 below x1 minus x2, right? And you know what I'm going to do? I try to read this one without writing it down. Okay. And my processing just my brain power just not capable of processing it. Because I have to do 2 things at one time, or more than 2 things. First, I have to read the graph for the y value, right? And then I try to sub it in. And then I try to minus. Too much for me. So you have to reduce the workload. If my brain can't process, and then I don't think your brain can process. Okay? So you should do what? Before you get the y1, y2, x1, x2. Write these 2 coordinates down. Once you write it down, you just plug in, right? Right? If you don't write it down, it's just too hard. If I write it down, okay, this point, I'm very focused. This point is minus 2. This point is 8. This point is 3. Then this point is minus 2. So once I write it down, I don't have to care. Because I already have this. So I just write down 8 minus 2. Minus 2, minus 3. This is 10. This is minus 5, minus 2. I'm surprised. You are asked to come up with the y1, y2, x1, x2, and you don't write the coordinate down. And you just read plus plug in plus calculation. I think you're killing yourself. Can you try to reduce the workload? I mean, there are many better ways to solve a question. Number 1, try to reduce the workload in your brain. Similarly, this question. you skip this intermediate step. You are trying to do two things at one time. And when you do two things at one time, plus many of my students, when they try to do two things at one time, they just make mistakes. Why? Because their brain power is not there yet. Okay? You always want to do it step by step so that you reduce the workload in your brain so that you don't make mistakes.
Okay.
Okay? So never skip any step. So if next time you are asked to find a gradient by formula, you write down the coordinates first. Okay. By the way, you don't need to write down here because actually copy only. Because it's coming from here. Then what's the C here?
-1.
Yeah, -1. So do you get the so-called what the equation of this line now? So what's the equation of this line? So m equals to 3, c equals to -1, right? So what's the equation of this?
Y equals to
Write down. Huh? You need to use calculator. You got your m, you get your c. Check which part?
Check if the equation is correct.
Oh, okay. I also want to know what you do to check. I don't know how to check, but how you check. So you were saying is y equals to 3x minus 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then what you did to check whether this is correct? What you did to check? Maybe I can learn something from you also. So what you did to check whether this equation is right?
3 times the number 1.
Y times number 1.
3 times 1.
You need to tell me the reason why you. I mean, you need to tell me the rationale why you.
Because
1, why not 2?
3 is x.
Where? Which one?
3x. So 3 times 1, which is the.
Okay, 3 times 1. 3 times 1, and then.
3 times 1 and
Yeah.
then minus 1
Okay,
equals to 2.
Oh, equals to 2, yes. And then?
And then equals to 2, y equals to 2.
So what is this? I mean, can you tell me the rationale behind this step? I'm not saying it's wrong, but
It's already given. Already gave us the coordinates
coordinate of what?
of one of the points
Which is, in this case?
on the line of the equation.
Yes, so with this point, what point? You see, you are very ambiguous. Point. So many points. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What point? Which point?
The point on the equation.
Which point? There are many points on the
second
equation.
Line.
Yes, there are many points on the second line. Which point you are talking about?
The point given in the question.
Wait, which one?
1, 2.
Yes. Okay, good. So basically, you apply the 1, 2. You need to be specific. I can tell you, oh, I pick one point. Which point? I can pick this point also. I can pick this point also. There are so many points. Which point? But if you tell me 1, 2, there is only one point. 1, 2. 1, 2 is this point. There is no ambiguity. There is no question. There is no argument at all. So next time I ask which point, you need to tell me which point. So what you are doing here is actually, yeah, explain your rationale. So you pick this point 1, 2, and then
1 times.
no, you don't need to use a calculator. Just explain. I asked you to explain the rationale. I never asked you to use calculator. I already figure out
1 is the x-axis.
Okay, 1 is the x. 1 is the x-axis. Again.
X.
Be specific, okay? 1 is the x coordinate, which is the x. And then?
Replace 3x with 3 times 1.
Okay, so you replace, okay. It's here, okay.
Minus 1, because that is the...
Minus 1, that will give you what? That will give you 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
y equals to 2.
so the y coordinate here is equal to 2 or y equals to 2. So therefore this is valid. So if it's valid, then it's correct. What if you sub in? Let's say you sub in, you sub in x equals to 2, then 3 times 2 is 6, 6 minus 1 is 6 minus 1 is 5. And then over here the value is 2, right? If you get 5, so what this means? What this means? Let's say you check, you sub in. It's not valid. In a way, it's not valid. Remember the word valid. So just now you check, it's valid. But here, let's say it's not valid. What does that mean? If it's not valid.
That means it's not correct.
Correct. You're right. Okay? The rationale for you to put this x and y into this equation that you get is to check whether it's valid or not. If it's valid, the equation is correct. If it's not valid, the equation is wrong. So the equation is wrong, it won't be valid. The equation is correct, it will be valid. Valid means if it's y equals to 2, y is supposed to be 2. You understand meaning of valid? Understand? Okay, good. So any other question from you? No? Okay, good. Okay, so I think this sums up your last part of the homework, right? Okay, good. So if you look at your last part of the homework, I don't think you have problem with this algebraic manipulation. Algebraic manipulation means the two methods, cross multiplication, right? And then of course the one if there is a minus in the middle, and then you have to put a brackets right after the minus sign, right? Okay, I see that you okay. Let me just give you one more question. Let me see. Okay. I see that you like to you like to use this method. Okay, what is this method? The method is you like to make the denominator the same. So let's say for this question, you like to do it this method. You make the denominator the same. So this is 4, and this is 6, and then 106, and you like to delete the denominator on both sides, right? So the key statement is delete the denominator on both sides. When I say both sides means what? This is your equal sign. This is called the left hand side. Left hand side. 左手. This is called the right hand side. Short form. So you delete the 6 on both sides. Okay? Then what about this? Can you do this for me? You can do it just behind here. Okay, so just let me just move the things away. Remember to take it back. Just remember to take it back. Give yourself more space. If you need do you need a cup of water?
No.
So, what's your answer?
4x minus 4 minus bracket 1.
That's it. Can I simplify further? I don't know. I'm asking you. Like you need to give me the simplest form, okay?
Cannot.
Okay, let's see.
Because 1 you cannot simplify.
Ha! You see? I expect you to do this thing and then you really do this. What did I say here just now? You delete the 6 on both sides, right? over here, do you have both sides?
No.
This is an equation.
Join together.
This is an equation, right? Hold on, hold on, you hold on first. You listen, okay? I'm not asking you to correct. No correction needed. Just listen. Do you agree this is an equation?
Yeah.
Why? Because equal sign. So it's an equation. Is there equal sign here?
No.
Then what you call this one? No equal sign. So you call this one as a what? This whole thing. You call this as a?
Minus.
Okay. Okay, of course it's minus, but what there is a name to this kind of this is called an equation because there is equal sign. So without an equal sign, and you are given this is called expression. I think even you last time you argue with your father. Okay, my teacher say can cancel, and your father did not agree with you. I also do not agree with you. So now the question is, can you cancel the 6 in this case?
Cannot because expression.
You see? You see? So if cannot, right? Can you simplify this further? Or like you say just now, there must be a bracket, right? Because there was a minus sign here. Very good. And then can you open the bracket here?
Can.
What do you get?
4x minus 4 minus 1.
Okay, can you simplify further?
No. Because 1 is already the simplest form.
What are you talking about? Can you see these are similar term? Similar term you can combine, right?
Yeah.
Then why you say cannot? Wait, so the whole key concept here is, first thing first, you need to differentiate equation and expression. You don't make this mistake again, okay? I don't want to see this mistake again. Because we have been talking about this equation, delete the denominator. Expression, no, cannot. Just remember that day, I think you argue with your father, and then I think your father also gave up about deleting the denominator for expression. If I remember it, you better remember it. Okay? It affects you more than it affects me. Okay? Okay? And then just now you were very insistent. It's the simplest form already. It's very clear cut, right? Minus 4, minus 1. There are similar terms. So how do you judge whether it's the simplest form? You just ask yourself this question. Are there any similar terms I can combine? Minus 4, minus 1, are they similar? Yeah. So if they are similar, okay, what do you get? Minus 4, minus 1.
Minus 5.
Okay, so the final answer is this. Can you delete the 6? No. Because it's an expression. Okay? Clear? So, therefore, let me see. Okay, so good. So, pretty good. So if you look back, okay, for the past 1 week, the mistakes you keep making is equation versus expression. Okay? This mistake, equation versus expression, denominator can be deleted. This one, denominator remains. This is the mistake you keep making. Okay? By the way, right, mathematics is super simple. You just have to remember what to do, then that's it. That's it. No memorization. Not so much memorization. Can you remember this already? for the equation, denominator can be cancelled. For the expression, denominator remains. Okay. Next, the most common mistakes you make is they don't give you a bracket. Is you put a bracket right after the equal sign. Can you see? Which you did not put. Okay? Then the last one is graph. So for graph, the gradient is given by y. Where do you put the 1?
At the bottom.
Yes. Small one, not big. Okay? So once you get this, then you will get the gradient. Okay? Then of course, if they give you the x1 equals to 2, they ask you to find the y1. Very simple. 2 methods. From the graph, up, down, left, right, then choose the correct direction. Okay? Then second method is by calculation. Simple? Okay? So if you manage to get rid of all this, or you manage to remember these 3 commonly make mistakes, right? Then you should be able to score. Is it too hard or not? No. No, right? Then why you make your life so miserable? Can I ask why you make your life so miserable? Why? If I just tell my student, hey, these are the 3 concepts you need to memorize for your upcoming mid-year. Just 3. For the past term 2 is 3 months. One term is 3 months, about 3 months. So 3 months you just need to remember these 3. Is it too hard or not? No, right? I would say it's a piece of cake. 3 concepts need to remember only, and then I can score already. I'm not asking too much, right? Okay, so I will give you a test. Okay, I'll give you a test, not today, but Tuesday and Thursday. So I will give you a test. Both tests is a half an hour. So Tuesday I'll give you a half an hour test. Then Thursday I will give you a half an hour test. So to kind of like assess how good you are right now after our one week of intensive training. I call this intensive training. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
Remember this. Do you have a notebook? You want to write this down somewhere so that or do you still have other questions other than these 3?
No.
You better not have. At any point you don't understand my handwriting over here, please let me know.
Done.
Okay, so last point on the graph today over here. So this one you label already, this line you label already. So this one you also found out, so you need to label y equals to minus 3. Should not be minus because it's slope up, so it's 3x minus 1. So this line is your y equals to 3x minus 1. This line is your y equals to minus 2x plus 4. What is so special about these two lines? Do you notice anything special about these two lines? This line and this line.
They meet perpendicular.
You sure or not? You want to use a ruler to check whether it's perpendicular or not? Don't anyhow say, okay? Are they perpendicular to each other?
No.
Okay, they are not perpendicular to each other. So you cannot make that statement. Therefore, or if you make that statement is wrong, is a wrong statement. Okay. So what is so special about these two lines? Anything special or nothing special? Or you can look at my
They
screen.
meet each other at
Yep, very good.
coordinate.
Very good. So they meet each other. So in a way, y equals to 3x minus 1, okay, meets y equals to minus 2x plus 4 at one point, right? And this point, there is a name for it. It's called the intersection point. The name for this is called intersection point. This one. This point is intersection point. It's just like a junction, you know. You understand? The junction. So there is a name for it. It's called the intersection point. So if what was this point, by the way? This point is your. What's this point?
1 to 2 coordinate.
1 comma
2.
2. So this is the 1 comma 2. Okay, so this point. So if you need to write down, is 1 comma 2. So the intersection point is bracket 1 comma 2. So if I ask you, what is the significance of this? What is the significance of this intersection point? Of this. What it means? What this intersection point means? What it means? Do you know what it means?
No.
Focus this one. This one, if I somehow move the 3, okay, let's talk about. You have two equations. I hope you see you see two equations, right? Y equals 3x minus 1, y equals to minus 2x plus 4. So I just get my equation 1 here first. Two equations, what it reminds you of?
Simultaneous equation.
Very good. Very good. So, but simultaneous equation does not look like this, right? If you use your calculator, you check, the simultaneous equation looks like this instead. This format. Okay, read. This, you have a 3x here, right? You need to move the 3x over. So it becomes minus 3x. Then of course we have plus y equals to minus 1. This is your simultaneous equation format in your calculator, right? Then I will pick my equation 2. So my equation 2 is also not in the simultaneous equation calculator format. I need to move my minus 2x over. Right? So minus 2x over is 2x plus y equals to 4. So this is my 2. So now, can you help me solve this? Okay, so because I already convert them into my simultaneous equation format, so I don't have to look at this. Can you solve this using your calculator?
X is 1 and y is 2.
Okay, very good. Hold on. So your calculator gives you x equal to 1 y equals to 2, right? This is by calculator. Compare this to this intersection point. What it means?
It's the same.
So what's the significance of this intersection point? No, you don't have to read that. You just have to look at the screen. So what is the significance of this 1, 2 to these two equations?
X equals to 1, y equals to 2.
The intersection point is actually the
X equals
solution
solution
to the
simultaneous equation.
of this equation 1 and equation
2.
exactly. Can you repeat this? The significance of the intersection point.
The significance of the intersection points is the solution to the simultaneous equation 1 and 2.
Very good. Very good. But I want you to see that okay, the simultaneous equation format is this, right? In your calculator. Then why we must put it into this format? Y equals to 3x minus 1, y equals to minus 2x plus 4. Why we must put it into this format? Why we cannot just put it in this format? The calculator simultaneous equation format. Why we cannot do it this way? Why we must convert it to this format? Or when? Okay, the question is, when do we need to get the equation into this format? When do we need to get it into this simultaneous equation format? Okay, this is the calculator simultaneous equation format. What format is this?
Y equals to negative 2x plus.
What format? Format. I'm talking about format. Yeah, this is y. This is a y equals to mx plus c format. Okay. This is calculator simultaneous equation format. How come like they want to make life so difficult for us, like having this format and this format? Any reason why?
Because they're MOU.
No. So first thing first, the significance of this intersection point, right, is the solution to the simultaneous equations, right? Okay, why you need to get it into y equals to mx plus c format in the first place?
Because it's a graph question.
It's a graph question. If you get it into y equals to mx plus c format, you can read your m immediately. Can you see? The m is 3, right? And the m for this is minus 2, right? The c for this is minus 1. The c for this is plus 4. So if you get it into y equals to mx plus c format, right, you can quickly read the m and the c. Okay? If you get it into the simultaneous equation calculator format, right, can you read the m and the c quickly?
Yes.
Read. No, you read me the m and the c. What are you talking about?
Why you move over there and then you can.
Then you say quickly, ma. Yeah, you still need to move. Is it quickly or not? Quick enough or not? I don't think so. So you read the calculator simultaneous equation format. You can't read the m and the c quickly. But you can do what?
Move them around.
Yeah,
To
but
become y equals to x.
yes. So let's say, what is the benefit of getting it into calculator simultaneous equation format? Okay, what is the benefit of this format? These two. You just did what? What's the benefit? You just did.
The coordinates is the solution for the.
No. I say why. You see. You. The question is, you need to answer my question. What is the benefit of getting into this simultaneous equation format? Is to facilitate the calculation of
y equals to mx plus c.
why I give you in this format.
To calculate for y equals to mx plus c.
Nonsense. There is nothing to do with this, okay? You just read there. What have you done for that?
Find x equals to 1, y equals to 2.
You answer yourself already. So what's the benefit of this format?
To find x equals to 1, y equals to 2.
By
Using simultaneous equation.
using simultaneous equation. By using what?
The coordinates.
You just reflect what have you done. I gave you this just now. What have you done to this?
I'll use calculator to find x and y.
Stop. Good. That's the benefit. It's all about, you see. Okay. I have this observation of you. You sometimes you never think before you answer. I think you better next time if I ask you a question, it's okay that you just take a deep breath and then think before you answer. Otherwise, most of the time your answer is very ridiculous. I keep asking you, what have you done after getting these two equations in this simultaneous equation format? Is you punch in the -3, 1 and -1 and 2, 1 and 4 to the calculator, right? So what you had done just now is you just use the calculator to solve for the x and the y. Simple as that. So the benefit of having this format is
To find x and y.
using
Simultaneous equation.
wrong.
By
What?
using the calculator.
Correct. Can you repeat? The benefit of having this format?
Is to find x and y by using the calculator.
Correct. What is the benefit of having y equals to mx plus c format?
To see easier.
What? See what?
Y equals to mx plus c.
See what easier?
See the equation easier.
No. No. You get it into y equals to mx plus c is to find what easier. Here is to find x and y solution easily using calculator. Here is to find what? Nothing to do with here. Don't look at here. This is the simultaneous equation format. The moment I ask you here, you go and read here is wrong. Completely wrong. I'm talking about this side. Why you need to want to get them into y equals to mx plus c format? It's for you to. So what's the benefit of y equals to mx plus c format?
Read it easier.
Read what?
The equation.
Read the equation easier. Think of what concepts you have learned. Think of what concepts you have learned. Y equals to mx plus c. So
The graph.
I can read what easier?
The graph.
No. What's this format? Read it again.
Y equals to mx plus c.
What is this format?
Y equals to 3x minus 1.
What format?
Y equals to mx plus c.
So you put it in this way. What can you read easily? Is to facilitate what? Can you see?
The format.
The format is the format. The benefit of the format is format. This is y equals to mx plus c. This is y equals to 3x minus 1. So what? So you can read what easily? You can read what easily? Can you see you can read this easily? What? I already pointed to you.
The numbers.
You are always very, very ambiguous. Your answer is always very unclear. A number, what number?
The
Point,
numbers
which
of the
point?
Y equals mx plus c.
So you can read what? Easily.
The formula.
Is there a formula involved here? Can you take a deep breath and think through your answer before you answer? What you can read easily. There is no formula and you tell me formula. I just talk about it. You can take a deep breath before answering. No rush. This is y equals to mx plus c. This is y equals to 3x minus 1. So what you can read quickly now? Just focus on these two. What's the m?
3
What's the c?
minus 1.
So what you can read quickly?
Mx plus c.
Nonsense. What did you just answer me?
3x minus 1
I asked what is m?
equals to 3.
What is c?
Negative 1.
What can you answer quickly then?
What m and c equals to?
So why you need to put it into this format then? This one.
To use the calculator to find x and what x and y equals to.
Very good. Then what about this format?
To read m and c, to find, show that m equals to 3 and c equals to negative 1.
What's the benefit of this? I was asking what's the benefit of this format?
To see that m equals to 3 and then c equals to negative 1.
Then what about this?
Y equals to mx plus c and y equals to negative 2x plus 4.
I asked you what is the benefit of this?
To show that m equals to negative 2 and c equals to 4.
So what's the benefit of getting into y equals to mx plus c format? What's the benefit of this format?
To read the m and c better.
Yes. Tell me what's the m here? What's the c here? Cannot. It's too long. What's the m and what's the c here?
3 and negative 1.
This one, you spend about 2 seconds, you tell me m and c already. This one, you spend, don't know. Keep processing, keep processing, keep processing. Can you see why you want to get it into this format? Why you want to get it into this format? When you get it into this format then?
When you need to find x and y, use the calculator to find x and y.
Very good. When you get it into this format then?
To read m and c.
They are both the same equation, by the way. They are the same, but in different formats. What format is this?
Simultaneous equation.
What format is this?
Y equals to mx plus c.
Yes. So now you know the benefits of both formats.
Yes.
What's the significance of this intersection point?
To find x and y.
No. The intersection point in the graph, right? Is the what? The significance of this intersection point, right? 1 and 1 comma 2, right? Is the, what's this?
Is x equals to 1 and y equals to 2.
What is this? What do you call? There is a name for it. It's the solution to these simultaneous equations. You see, you don't even know the terms. That's why I say, all your answers to me is very ambiguous. Ambiguous is not clear. The meaning of ambiguous is not clear. You talk about number, you talk about point, but these are all very general terms. Number, what number? Point, what point? So the intersection point of the graph here is the
X is the solution
to
the simultaneous equation.
very good. The keyword is solution to the. So intersection point in the graph is the solution to the simultaneous equation. The benefit of this simultaneous equations format is for you to use the calculator to find x equals to 1 and y equals to 2. The benefit of having y equals to mx plus c format is for you to read the m quickly and the c quickly. not the number easily. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. So, good. We take a break. So you need to know the terms very well.